Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Just wondering how everyone did on the first day of 2021 trading, and today's you know the overall market pulled back quite a bit, and it's got a little bit bloody for other SPACs plays also. So hope you guys manage your risk today and find some deep buy opportunities along the way. And today I'm gonna go over a real hot topic. Beside EV, there's another sector. It's called the Lidar technology, and it's one of the trending sectors right now. Also, it's also related to EV. But let me go through to kind of explain what is the Lidar technology first, so everyone would have an understanding what it is before I can dive into a couple of SPAC company that I want to discuss today with you guys. And the reason that I want to make this video today as quick as possible, because the first day of 2021 the SPAC market is just pulled back quite a bit, so it might be some buying opportunity over there for you guys. So that's another reason that I want to make this video as quick as possible. Okay, guys. Okay, let me go ahead and dive into it. Okay, there's a few company, they all SPAC companies. Okay, some of them that's already merged, and some of them that still go through the merger. So CLA, ticker CLA, Arster. So that's the one that is still waiting for a merger. Okay, so this one, the merger haven't complete yet. Okay, the second one, CGRO, which is also waiting for a merger. Okay, this one is still going to be merged. Probably going to be finished the merger by Q1. Okay, those like those two. IPV also also is still waiting for the merger. And VLDR, this one's already been merged. This one has already complete the merger. And this one is this one actually the first Lidar technology SPAC that out last year that everybody is all hyped up about. This one right here is I believe this is the first Lidar technology companies SPACs out there. So as you can see, this company went all the way to like the low 30s, like during the merger. So, and the next one is LAZR. So this is one of the best performing Lidar energy, Lidar technology, right? The ticker used to be GMHI. So this is one of the best perform SPAC. So it went all the way to almost like $48, close to the merger. Okay, so as you can see, exciting, right, guys? You see, you see all those SPAC that at the low teens, and had the potential to run all the way up to the close to $50 range after the merger. And okay, let me dive into the the first one, CLA, which is it pulled back by almost 4% today, closing at $13. Okay, let me go over the presentations and see if this is going to be a a deep good buy for you guys. The second day, the second trading days on 2021. Okay, all right, let's dive into the investor presentation real quick. All right, guys, this is one of the interesting part that I would like to know. If I would look at a company. Okay, so the valuations is 1.6 billion. So if I invest in the SPAC, or if I invest in a SPAC, I would like to see the enterprise values somewhere around at least 1 billion, so that way that I know it's a it's a decent sized company. So okay, look at the management, the SPAC. This is the SPAC size management. So it looks like they have they have a lot of experience in LiDAR technologies, companies and, and also software companies. The management is from, useful for fidelities and, all those bankings, industries. Okay, let's look at the operations side. So it looks like this, the co-founder of this company, had a lot of years of, LiDAR engineering experience, and also the team is, the CTO is also useful for Apple and all those First Solar Energies and all those, they looks like they have pretty good, decent, decent experience. So you guys can go dive into it for, for the experience. But let's go. Okay, let's look at their. Let's look at. Okay, looks like they started at 2015, and okay, so it's like a 5-year-old company. Okay, so and pretty new, right? I mean, majority of those are majority those company like this is more like a speculated a company, so it's pretty new and it's looking for to go to public and get the funding to start growing and start expanding the operation, right? So that is pretty reasonable. 5 years old company, and they already have 450 customers across countries. Okay, so they do have quite a bit of customers already. Over here saying that they have the revenue compound annual growth rate is 143%, and that's great. This is the number you want to see in the speculation type of stock. Okay, SPAC. Okay, and cost reduction. Okay, this is the great number you want to see, like 30% reduction. So okay, these two numbers are very important for you to analyze a company, not just a SPAC. Okay, so the LiDAR technology companies, they all those all those 5 companies that I talked about, they all focus on in different areas. Okay, so there's industrial, and there's infrastructure, and robotics, and automobiles. So it looks like this one right here, CLA, and they are focusing on 90% of the 90% of the market shares right here, which is industrial, infrastructure, and robotics. Later on I would talk about the rest. Would pretty much they all focus on EV and automobiles, which is a small chunk of the of the pie. Okay, so this is very attractive. You see, they focus on those 3 areas, like they mentioned on the on the slide. Okay, this is just talking about how the industry transfer like the transformations. This is talk about the more detail on how they how their LiDAR technologies. This is more like a technicals on on this type of technology stuff. So okay, this part right here that we need to look at is the direct cost of goods sold actually dropped 30% annually. So this is the number that you want to see. You want to see the cost of of each product are lower than their competitors, which is just great. So this is just showing the type of the technology that they have. Okay, this part right here is also very important too, and you want to see how many PANMs that they granted. You know, the more they granted is the better, because especially in like this type of new technologies, you want to grant it as much PANM as possible. Okay, this part gets very interesting, right? This part right here, this is, you know, this is the, you know, the very important part as we always talk about, right? So the compound annual growth rate, you know, on all the sector that, you know, that they focus in. Okay, you have 22%, you have 51%, you have 66%, you have 98%. So it's pretty good. It's, you know, it's pretty decent growth rate. You know, look at how cool it is. This lidars, you know, you can put it right here, you know, by the cameras. Robotics, you can use it for robotics, right? So cars, you know. Okay, let's dive into the financials really quick, okay? So you're looking at 2020 to 2025, and also, right, this one right here doesn't really have much revenue, right? So it's speculative, you know, stuff like I was talking about. So their compound annual growth rate is 143%. You know, when some some company that doesn't really have much, you know, current revenues, you want to see this number as big as possible, okay? You want to see, you know, 100%, 200% growth. Okay, you want to see the biggest number as possible in here, okay? You know, but if you want to, you know, if you're investing in a company or trading a company that you know, that's already have, you know, decent revenues in the beginning, you know, then you will see this you know, compound annual growth rate would be lower. Probably you would be seeing like 20% or sometimes 15%. You know, 30% is, you know, is quite good. But on the speculated, you know, stocks, you know, you need to at least see this numbers above 100% in order for you to be like, wow, this is something that I'm interesting, you know, to be, you know, spend more time to study it. Okay. Okay, the next thing that I want to look at, and okay, you look at the EBITDA. So okay, negative this year. So it took them 3 years to be EBITDA positive. So it's not too bad. Okay, it's not too bad. But this is also projection, right? You know, if can they meet that number or not, you know, who knows, right? You know, we gotta see that in 3 years. But you know, on their projections, you know, it's great to see that, you know, they would be, you know, cash flow positive and EBITDA positive by, you know, by 2023. Okay, so you know, this is a good sign. Okay, so their whole you know, their whole SPAC value, you know, at the $10 share. So they're looking at the 1.85 billion dollars. So okay, you know, so this is how you know what they value at when they come out from the SPAC. You know, is they all measure at $10 range, right? You know. Okay, this part gets really interesting, right? So the benchmark, so they compare with the, you know, with the competitions, like the comparators, right? So, okay, so the revenue growth, you know, compound annual growth rate, okay, 143, right? They compare with like their peers, okay. So they're not really outstanding compared to all that, you know, that competition that or comparator that they have, right? So, but it's close enough, right? So, you know, the gross margins, you know, align with each other pretty much. And, you know, and EBITDA's margins is also, you know, close enough with the competitions. Okay. So, you know, put it this way, right? Like you have the growth rates pretty much close to each other. So what's the next thing that you look at? You know, the next thing you look at is the market cap, how big, you know, like how big's the market cap now, you know, like, you know, then you look at the next slide right here, the valuation benchmark, okay? So, okay. So when you're comparing the valuation to the revenue, okay, and the valuation is like, okay, right now it's 1.8 something billion, right? So you divide by the revenue, so it's 1.9 times of their revenue compared to their, their competitions. Okay, 4 times, 3 times, and 16 times. That's expensive. 16 times, that's expensive. You compare to like 1.9, right? Right. So this number right here, the lowest it gets, the cheaper it is of the valuation. That means undervalue, right? The higher the number is this is, the overvalue, the expensive that stock is, okay? So that's how you look at these numbers, okay? So EBITDA is just treated almost the same thing, right? So the lower number this is the cheaper. The higher the number is more expensive, right? So compared to their competitions, and they are relatively, cheap, right? The numbers a lot lower than what they, what their competitions has, okay? This is the same thing, talking about their peers, okay? Okay. Okay, guys, let's look at their technical analysis, okay? So they just announced the merger, a couple days ago, like, people got excited. I mean, it used to be at $10 and, like the floor price and, as soon as they announced it, people got excited. You see a couple, big green candles, shot up to like almost $18. So that means that a lot of people watching it, a lot of investors watching it, a lot of traders, excited about this. Okay. So of course, right, same thing like all the SPACs, after the first 1 or 2 days, excitements, they will sell off, right? They take profit, they sell off. Right now, today, it dipped all the way to $13, and, $13 is actually a $13 right here, that actually a pretty good support level, okay? So, in my opinion, this is, in my opinion, as you can see, 13, 14, 16, 21. Okay, this, VLDR is already merged. Okay, so this one's already merged, right? So this one's already merged. The highest event is all the way to 30 something dollars. Okay, so this one right here, LAZR, is also the highest it get. It's almost, for $48, right? So this, before the merger at 13, think about this, right? You have the potential, when it's closer to the merger, or when the merger role is complete and this transaction is complete, you have the potential to be one of those, it's competitions, right? This, it's comparators, right? It could go up to $30 or even go up to $50. So, but your downside on this one right here, the floor is $10, right? So your downside is $10 before the merger, okay? After the merger, so there's no, there's no floor of 10 anymore. So it could go below 10, right? But usually based on the peers, how it did up to the merger, and is, it's almost quadruple. So I would think this is undervalued at this point. And I started to add some positions today at $12.50. So I'm pretty bullish at this price, at the performance, and what I see from the investors' presentations, how the numbers looking at, looking like, and and also their technologies, is, lighter technology is the future. Okay, let's look at the second one. Okay, CGRO. And Novi. So this one right here, they announced the merger also not too long ago, and great team, 20 plus years, you know, technology experience in Lidar, a lot of engineering experience, and you know, pretty good background. You know, yeah, all those you know, guys with, you know, hedge fund experience, technology company experience. So yeah, pretty strong management team, which is the first thing that we want to look at, right? Okay. And over here, you look at their pro forma enterprise value at 1 billion. So this one, you know, over here actually cheaper than the first one that we look at, CLA, based on the market cap size and the, you know, and 1.8 times of their revenue estimates for 2025. Okay, so this one actually over here is also looking pretty good just based on looking at this slide over here, okay? But let's dive into it and look at what they have, you know, before we make decisions, okay? So it looks like, okay, it has a partnership with Magna. Magna's a huge car manufacturer, you know, like, you know, company that, you know, even Fiskars use them, you know, to manufacture their cars, and BMW use them to do some of their cars, and Mercedes, okay? So they had the partnership with them, and, you know, and BMW selected them for their, you know, to use their lidar for their technologies. So some of the BMW will have, you know, their technologies in you know, in their cars, okay? And of course, you have some Samsung and other company that they're gonna partner with. Okay. See, this BMW and Magna is like a huge. Those are huge guys in, you know, automobiles, the auto industries. Okay, those got big guys, so they have the partnership with them. So you know, that gives a lot of credit to this company. So it looks like this company is mainly focused on like cars, EVs, and you know, like that's, as we see on the previous company slide, right? You know, automobiles is only a small chunk of the market, but you know, but EV and automobile, like, you know, cars right now, like EV cars right now is, you know, that sector is booming. So you know, so this one, you know, lidar technology, that whatever related to EV is gonna go up. You know, people just, you know, just go crazy with it. Anything with EVs, people start chasing, you know, at this point. So okay, huge percentage on cost reducing right here. This number is huge, 70% cost reduction, and it's a lot smaller. So the lidar technology, the smaller it gets for a car is better, right? You know, so it's better fit, you know, inside the car, you know. Over here, talk about, you know, how the, you know, how the performance is. Yeah, look at how small this thing is. You know, this is like a real small size lidar. This is what you need. You know, this is the new technology that they have. You know, this is great. Oh man, look at the price. Look at the price. This is the, you are not gonna see, you know, how cheap, you know, this, you know, this lidar is, because usually those lidar you know, technology is so expensive, and you know, and it's so big. So I guess they focus on, you know, the lowest price, and you know, the smallest size to fit the cars. Okay, so this gets very interesting right here on the financials. Okay, wow, this revenue growth numbers is really really exciting everybody over here. Yeah, 200%, 238%. Those are huge numbers growth right here. Okay. Okay, they get positive EBITDAs on 2024, so it's still not bad. Okay, still pretty good. You know, the market cap is lower compared to CLA, 1.4 billion to start off. Okay, the revenue growth, you know, they all about the same, relatively in the hundreds, like over 100% growth range. You know, this is the number you want to see that, that you want to, you want to see the highest number possible you can, you know, over here that the lowest number, like I say, the lowest number is the better for the valuations like the market cap, divided by the revenue. So 1.8 is very low, so you compare to like, 14.5, so their competitions, so it's actually pretty low. So actually this one right here that, that has a pretty good valuation compared to, the other three. Okay. Let's look at the technical analysis right here, okay? So this one right here, today pulled back a little bit only, and is that sitting at $14. And, also, this also SPAC, right? A $10 range, the merger announced, right? It's shot up all the way to, almost $18. It's do the same thing, same pattern, same chart pattern, same 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 pattern, pullback, sell off, pullback right here, and traded by the dip again, and then write this up. Okay, so you see the SPAC always had the same pattern. Get the get the hype, and then pull back. And then consolidate. Okay, so right now it's consolidating at $13-14 range. I think this is a good spot to add positions right here. Before or when they close, like when it close to the merger, it's gonna break this double top right here. This it's gonna break this $17 range right here. This is how you use. I mean, this is how all the other Lidar technology, when they finish the merger, they break the previous top. Okay, so when you see that double top, it has to need it has to need some news to break this, or when it closer to the merger and people need to rush in to to jump in the boat on here to like to ride the breakout, right? So it has to be beside like before the merger, or or closer to the merger in order to break this, or it has to be a better, it has to be a press release or news for it to push back higher, before the merger. Okay. The next one I'm gonna talk about is IPV. So this one right here is, well, crazy, 13%, pop today. Everything else is, everything else is in red. Okay. So this one right here is, people got very excited about this, because the leadership, the management, is the former Apple guys. So they're, the CEO and CTO used to work for Apple. So when people heard about Apple or Amazon, something that related to those companies, people just get excited about. So this company right here is also mainly focused on EVs or cars. Okay, so their Lidar technology is mainly focused on that, and they partnership with like Audi and Volkswagens. Okay, and their main focus is for the Lidar on a chip. So as you can see, their technology is a little bit different. Okay. You know, they're all comparing each other, like, you know, how different their technologies and whose is better, and, you know, better you know, performance. Revenues compared to the, you know, their competitors, you know, they all somewhere around, you know, 800 million to $1 billion revenue estimates, somewhere around 2025. So they all had this somewhat, you know, somewhat related numbers on the forecast. Okay. Over here, just talking about, you know, how good their technology is and what the performance on this for the LiDAR chips. Okay. Yeah, they're mainly looking, I mean, this is mainly focused on, you know, automobile. You know, all this partnership that they have is, you know, pretty much all the high-end cars and, you know, Audis and Porsche, Bentley, and, you know, all those high-end cars they partner with. Okay, let's look into the financial real quick. Okay, so look at this part again right here. Okay, 43%, 50%, 60 something percent grow on the gross profit, big numbers. That's what we want to see. EBITDA positive on 2024, same thing like the others. So when you look at this, they you know, they have a similar, very similar forecast and you know, projections. You know, if you look at the previous two you know, investor presentation, they had the similar projections, you know, very close, you know, market cap. Okay, you know, over here had 2.1 billion. So they are really almost at, you know, a 1.5 to $2 billion market cap, you know, really similar. You know, so the only thing that we need to look at right now is what the price level, what the current price level that we're looking at. You know, like, you know, since, you know, first thing, since the market cap is about the same, the projection number on the, you know, on the compound annual growth rate for revenues and, you know, gross profits and the EBITDA and everything's, you know, they all have a similar growth percentage. And, you know, so right now the best comparison is like what the current market the current stock price, right? So when you look at, you know, the list I have right here, you know, this two right here already merged, right? So when you know, it's already merged, you know, I would not, like, if, you know, if I have this, you know, this couple one at the lower end on, you know, on the prices, you know, I would, you know, I would pay, you know, because the projection number is pretty much this, you know, very close to each other. Then I would, you know, then I would pick something that's, you know, that at the lower end price, right? So, you know, I would be interested in looking at, you know, to add some positions on, like, to add more positions on CLA and you know, CGR, you know, RO, because they, you know, they're still sitting at $13 and $14. Well, all the other ones right here, that's already at 20, you know, 20. It used to be like 30 something already. And this, you know, this is, you know, it's good, you know, it's a great company. Don't get me wrong, right? So those, you know, those two are the great company, right? You know, for LiDAR technology, but you know, but if you can pick something that had the same potential to grow, why not at $13? Why not buy it at 14, right? Instead of buying at 30 and 21, right? So it makes more sense when you get into, you know, like, you know, the low teens before the merger and wait for the merger and let it shoot up to, you know, 20 or 30, like all the other ones, right? So, you know, like I say, make your own decision and manage your risks. And, you know, this video is just for entertainment purposes. You know, I'm just over here try to show you guys, you know, try to analyze it and try to talk about it. You know, since today, you know, you have a big dip on, you know, this huge dip on the SPAC, you know, sector. So, you know, hopefully tomorrow you guys can, you know, look into this LiDAR technologies and you might find some good deals. And, you know, if you don't have positions in this, take a look at it. And, you know, this is all, you know, definitely, you know, can, you know, EVs and LiDAR technologies, and those are the, you know, those sectors is, you know, is booming. It's going to be the 2021, sector that you want to be, you know, looking at. Okay, guys, you know, please and like and subscribe my channel, and thanks for the support. And I'll be posting the next, you know, the next YouTube video, you know, really soon. And, you know, if you have anything that you want to request, please comment below. And also we have the free Discord trading, you know, room, and I have the link below. So if you like to, you know, join the team, you know, feel free to, to take a look at it. Okay. And thank you guys. Have a better trading day tomorrow. I know the first day of 2021, you know, it's tough for everybody, but tomorrow can be better. Okay. All right. Thank you guys.